Hi, everyone. My name is Big Rich X, and typically you see me playing video games or uh, casting, ranting, or raving, being very somewhat high energy and high octane. And um, today, for my Respawn Recruits Challenge, week 2, by the way, I'll be switching it up and doing something I've never done, which is sort of a how to video. And it's deal with my personal life. I have a background in writing and English. I graduated with honors and a specialization in writing from my college. Um, so today, to get to the point, this is 10 ways that you can get better at writing. Now, this isn't a proper course. This isn't any crazy tips and tricks video that I'm trying to drop. This is just my honest take on what I think will make you a better writer. First off is practice. Practice makes perfect. If you're not writing, you're not doing your job right. You're not at least attempting it. Even if it's the worst story you've ever written, the worst article you've ever written, the poem, prose, short story, novella, whatever. Just put pen to paper, get your fingers working on the keys, practice. On that note, we roll into point 2, keep a journal. Have a journal on you at all times, because if you think of an idea and you have nothing to write it down with, you have nothing to keep track of it, you're going to lose it. Always keep a journal. I have at least three of these little notebooks around me at all times. They cost maybe $1, 50 cents, $2. They're cheap as paper at your local office supply store. They are available 24/7. You can find them at Walmart. Even King Supers or most mainline grocery stores will have just plain old notebooks in a, school supply section. So keep a journal, have something to write down. And on to point 3, write everything. Write your daily goals, write your aspirations, write down your ideas, obviously. That's what mainly the journal's for. Write your grocery list. Write what you're going to do that day. Write what you're going to do that week. What are you trying to get done? Write what games you're going to play. Who are you meeting with? Keep a calendar. There are so many ways where you can practice writing in your life, where you can utilize some of your creative writing skills or skills you've learned, from other people in your books or in your regular everyday life. So just write everything. Even if you don't think you need to write it, write it. So I promise you it'll pay off in the long run. Number 4, going on to sort of writing everything you do and meeting up with people, attend a writing seminar or a writing group. Facebook has hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of different groups that you can connect with, meet up with, and get to know. You can also learn a lot from other people. That's where most of your inspiration is going to come from anyways. Your muse, if you will, is going to come from other people. And there are always writing groups. There are always other writers out there. It's not a competition. It's mainly a collaborative effort. We could get to competitions and writing challenges and stuff like that, but that's not as productive because it puts a lot of strain and stress on you, I think. But maybe you formulate that way. But on another aspect of sharing, this gets into point number 5. The first people you're probably going to share with before you meet up with those writing groups and seminars is your family and friends. Share with the ones you care about. If they care about you, they'll give you honest feedback. Hopefully they won't just, be a yes person or someone who's trying to make you feel better. It's like, hey, this doesn't work. This sounds wrong. This looks weird. This is bad. This sounds good. I like how this goes. What's this character going to do? You could switch this word with that word. Why don't you try this? It's the same thing with streaming and video gaming. Your first couple of viewers, the first couple of people who's going to tune in and support you are going to be your family and friends. Now, this next point might be slightly controversial, But I stand by it, and I wouldn't be the writer I am today without it, and that's going through higher education. Whether that means getting your GED, finishing high school, whether that means going to a community college, going to a public college, going to a private college, going to private school, hiring a tutor, finding an alternative resource to improve your overall knowledge in just writing skills in general is going to be through the people who earn a living by doing it. So whether you know a writing friend or someone who works in the writing industry, whether as a journalist, an author, or a poet, or what have you, a lyricist, a script writer, a million different ways, or a copywriter, technical writer. I could go. The list goes on and on. It's practically infinite. But finding people who are already sort of entrenched in the scene of writing, or at least have that background in it, are going to be your huge resources that can help you in the early running of everything. Number 7, the 7th point on this top 10 list, is arguably the most important in my humble opinion. Read. You have to read, and then read some more. If you're not writing, you should be reading, essentially, if you want to get better at writing. And this doesn't just mean reading your favorite books or finding a book from your favorite author, or reading just, your typical fiction book or your YA novel. Read everything. It goes back to writing everything. I know we're getting down to number 10, but we're sticking with 7. And we're trying not to bounce around too much and stay on topic, which can happen when you're writing, but write everything. Anyways, if you're hitting sort of a dent in you feel like you got writer's block, read something you'd never find yourself reading. Find a tabloid magazine, or read up on some, American Revolutionary War history. Find a book about Antarctica, find a book about penguins, something out of your typical genre, to just potentially be inspired, at the hope of being inspired, or to find a new interest. It's basically just taking a dive. Go to your local public library, find your local bookstore, go to a different section that you're not normally finding yourself in. The cover art looks cool, or the author's name sounds cool or funky, or something catches your eye, just give it a try. Right? Anyways, you get what I'm getting at. Find new avenues, find new inspiration, and go from there. Point number 8. You have to dedicate time to it, if it hasn't been obvious enough or already. If you don't spend time, if you don't dedicate yourself to it, you're not going to get any better at it. It's the same with anything in life. You got to practice something for 10,000 hours, apparently, and then you're an expert, according to some nationwide commercial I think I saw with Peyton Manning years and years ago. But you have to dedicate part of your week, part of your life, to getting better at writing. If you don't dedicate that time, you put it to the wayside, it's going to be just another thing in the background. You're going to lose interest and slowly lose some of those skills. Granted, it can come back to you like riding a bike, but you're only going to get better with practice. So I encourage you to take time out of your day, set a time maybe before bed, or on your lunch break, when you stop for dinner, what have you, find time to write something. Even if it's just a quick paragraph, you're still practicing. You're still finding time. And that sort of brings me into my next point, and then we'll round out this video. I won't take up too much of your time, keeping it under 12 minutes. Don't get hung up on the little things. Don't get distracted if you spell a word wrong, or something doesn't look right, or the sentence structure isn't right, or just write. Just write. You can worry about editing and going back to stuff later, especially if you're typing away on a computer, but don't get hung up on it, because that's how things compound. That's how you get writer's block. That's how you just get distracted. You can still dedicate that time, but if it's time not spent well, you're wasting it. So just keep writing. I promise you it'll come through. 10th and final point. It might seem a little scary at first, but reach out to magazines, reach out to editorial, reach out to creative writing magazines. Believe it or not, they exist. There should be some links in the description for you if you're looking to reach out to some people. I can't promise you that they'll respond to you, but at least it offers you an avenue to get some professional feedback going into our earlier points of, higher education and learning from your peers. It's really, really important, I think, to get that information from people already in the scene because, they've lived it, they've done it. They can show you the way, help you avoid some of the pitfalls that they may have fallen into. I hope this helps you become a better writer. I hope you create stories or create poems or write news articles that inspire other people to write, like many of the people that I read did to me or did for me. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.